Hi guys and welcome back to Readerandthewrite. My name is Rachel and today I'm going to be showing you all the books that I've read in February. I'm just going to start this off by saying this may be the best reading month I've had in years. I'm sure people really enjoy when people come on here and they slate a book or they talk about how much they didn't enjoy it, but I am just here today to spread positivity because oh my god, all of these books are amazing. If you watched my channel back in, I think 2016 or 2017, you may have remembered that my favourite book of the year was This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. It's a fantastic, unflinching perspective of being a junior doctor in the NHS, and I always look for books that are similar to that, and I found one, and it's great. So, the first book that I read is Can You Hear Me? A Paramedics Encounters with Life and Death by Jake Jones, which I believe is a pseudonym. This follows a paramedic's perspective spanning over a decade working, I believe, in London, definitely in the UK. It jumped from very, very harrowing tales to more kind of the light-hearted tales to talking about things like hoax calls, and it really delved into exactly what it's like to be a paramedic. Similarly to This Is Going to Hurt, I feel like this book is genuinely unflinching. I like the fact that it's realistic, it tells the stories in great detail, but I will also say it is beautifully written. The language style and the way that the stories kind of unfold, you can tell it's realistic, but you can also tell that it is the person that is writing this has a real in-depth knowledge of language, and I really appreciated that. It's kind of made me want to be a paramedic, which I don't know if is necessarily the intention of the book, but it's great. I really genuinely would recommend it. I was kind of trying to find similar books. I was really getting invested in this kind of memoir style, and I popped into the library and I found this. This is Unnatural Causes, The Life and Many Deaths of Britain's Top Forensic Pathologist by Dr. Richard Shepherd. I don't know if I enjoyed this book quite as much as Can You Hear Me? This is a little bit more of a slow burn. It's a little bit more about Dr. Shepherd's life and how he got into pathology than it is necessarily straight into the action like Can You Hear Me is, but I still really enjoyed it. I found it genuinely quite interesting. Pathology is autopsy, post-mortem, and the first section of this book actually focuses on the Hungerford Massacre, which is a huge massacre that happened which killed multiple people back in the 70s, I believe, and that was actually his first proper case, and reading that was harrowing but very interesting. I just really enjoyed the kind of cold and clinical humour that was in there, and how Dr. Shepherd talks about bodies and death. I have a real problem with death. I'm sure a lot of people do. It terrifies me. But this made me feel a little bit more comfortable. If you enjoy kind of memoir style books or biography, then you would really enjoy this. I didn't know much about what being a pathologist was like. I feel like I've learned so much from this book. So yeah, I really would recommend this. So the next book that I read was a book that I bought quite a while ago. I bought it from Liberia in London, and I'll be honest with you, I was kind of putting off reading it because I knew that it was gonna make me feel a type of way, and it did. This is Sheila Hetty's Motherhood. I've heard loads about this book. This is Sheila Hetty's kind of fictionalised memoir of her deciding whether or not to have children, which is a very difficult topic for women to talk about. I personally don't want children. It's just not something that necessarily interests me, and I find that seems to be the most controversial thing that I can say. People really don't like to hear the fact that you as a woman don't want children. And it's something that I've really struggled with. It's something that a lot of people have criticised me about over the years, including my family. Reading this made me feel reassured. It also really brought into light my fears, and that it was okay to feel that kind of way. The way in which she describes her dreams, how vivid they are and how terrifying they are, and the weight of this decision feeling so heavy is exactly how I feel. It's expertly written. Sheila Hetty is a wonderful writer. I can't really praise this any higher. I think it's just an incredible book. So this is Bearmouth by Liz Hyder. This was very kindly sent to me along with the next book from Pushkin Press, so I'm very grateful. Thank you for sending my lovely little package. I'm so glad that it was sent because, oh my god, this book is amazing. So this is a children's book. It's written in a phonetic style, which takes a little bit of time to get used to, but I really enjoyed it. It really gave the characters personality, gave them realism. You could hear the way they talk. So although fictionalised, this is set in a Victorian era where all of the characters live down a mine called Bearmouth, so they're not allowed to leave. They have to work 6 days a week and then they live the rest of the time down the mine. We follow a character called Newt. At the heart of it, this book is about rebellion. It's about uprising and realising that just because you're told to do something and that things are the way they are doesn't mean that's how they should be. There's also this huge glamorisation about the Victorian era, and this really sheds a light on the realism of it all and how children were treated and how men that were working down the mine were treated as well. Maybe to us this feels like 100 years ago, back in the Victorian era, but actually children as young as 4 and 5 are working down mines today all over the world. Think of things like the production of mica and how mica is sourced. The majority of mica is sourced by children under the age of 6. There are a lot of plot twists in this that I didn't see coming, which I really enjoyed. The friendship that is in this book is second to none. It's the kind of book where you sit down and you read it all in one go, and it just kind of consumes you in its style, in its prose. It's beautiful. I'd really recommend it. I think you'll love it. Have you ever wondered about what would happen if a virus spread across the world and infected animals, which meant that we could no longer eat animal, and we then decided to start eating human? Have you ever wondered what would happen? Probably. You need to read this. Tender is the Flesh by Augustina... Do I? Bazterrica? I'm very sorry. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. Animals have been infected. They have a virus, which means they need to be killed. We can no longer eat them. So what does the meat industry do? Starts breeding humans for consumption. This is a dystopian novel about what would happen during that time. We follow the character of Marcos, who works at one of the processing plants. One day, one of the owners of the plant brings him a gift, and the gift is a woman who Marcos later calls Jasmine, who is a woman who has been bred to be slaughtered. And Marcos realises that he doesn't want to do that, and what he decides to do is terrifying, and you need to read it. I'm not spoiling it, but oh my god. I will say very quickly a trigger warning for extreme gore, rape, sexual assault, sexual abuse. This is not an easy read. It's a very disturbing read. If you like things like Never Let Me Go, this reminded me a lot of Never Let Me Go, but like to the nth degree, the more extreme version. It's fantastic and it is written so beautifully. It is like a poetic travesty. I loved it. You've got to get this book, honestly. And the last book was very kindly sent to me for review by WN and Ryan, and this is Exciting Times by Nisha Dolan. This is due out on April 16th 2020. You guys, this book is everything. If you're looking for your next Sally Rooney-esque book, this is the place to go. Throughout this book we follow the character of Ava, who is in her early 20s. She's from Dublin, but she's moving to Hong Kong to teach English to Hong Kong students, and it's about her navigating her life there. She has a friend called Julian who is a banker. She ends up starting to sleep with him and live at his apartment, but they're not together, and then Julian has to go back to England for work, and while he's away Ava falls in love with a lady called Edith, and they have a really beautiful love affair. Then she gets a message from Julian saying, hey, I'm coming back, and she has to figure out what to do. Nisha gets love. The dry style of humour in this book is excellent. I found myself genuinely laughing. It's exactly my kind of humour. I'm just super happy that we have fantastic bisexual representation in a novel like this. If you're looking for a book which tackles sexuality, gender, class in a genuine, realistic and in-depth way, while also making you laugh out loud at the same time, this is literally the perfect book for you. I could not recommend this enough. Trust me, go and pre-order this book right now. It is so good. I love it. It's been such a good reading month, honestly. Like all these books are like a 10 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know if you have any recommendations for me down below, and likewise if you need any more recommendations, hit me up down below and I'll let you know. As always, I shall see you in my next video, which will be very soon, hopefully. Cool, right, I'll see you later. Bye!